Welcome back to episode 113 of the Guardian Project podcast. I'm your host, Andy. And Coyle, my friend got some new dish soap. Do you want to know what I call it?
What do you call it?
Dawn of Hope.
Oh.
My friend's name is Dawn. I don't.
Oh, okay. I mean,
no, my friend's name is Hope.
Your friend's name is Hope because Dawn is the dish soap.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't have a friend named Hope.
No.
Either.
No?
Or Dawn. I don't know a Hope, or I know a Hope and I know a Dawn. It worked for the intro, and then I messed it up. But it's fine.
Well, allow me to give my very realistic, actually happened intro. My name is Mike, and I was doing a stand-up routine in front of a room of zombies the other night, and boy, did I bomb. I have never been met by so many necrotic boos before.
Please listen carefully.
This is the podcast where we talk about all things Magic the Gathering.
But mostly Commander.
So the hot goss this weekend was the Secret GP, which, to be fair, I don't know a ton about, other than there were so many comments and hashtags Secret GP. So it sounds like what happened was there was an event that was scheduled by some LGS, and I believe it was New Jersey, from my professional sleuthing that I did for a brief amount of time.
Sure.
And it sounds like it was really only promoted on Facebook.
Okay.
But then there was quite the turnout, and everybody on Twitter was like, how did none of us, like, there were some people that wanted to go, so it sounded like, and they were like, what is this? And then it got the name Secret GP, but apparently there was Magic, there was Yu-Gi-Oh!, there was the Digimon trading card game. I would assume that new game Flesh and Blood was probably there as well. There was like a playmat made for it and everything. The playmat, which by the way, go on Twitter and look up hashtag Secret GP. The playmat is a playmat. It's hilarious. It's everybody wants one. They're trying to, a lot of people are like buying these.
Okay.
This is very crazy. So I don't know. It's first GP, I guess, and they're calling it the Secret GP. Secret GP.
I literally did not hear about this until just now.
Yeah. Breaking news. If you didn't already see it, there's not a ton, but there's like a full thread, and it's like, I'm here. I'm here as the doors open. There's nothing there. Like there's like tables and chairs. People are talking about their placement in rounds. I'm 0-1 or I'm 2-2, and but I guess it sounded like there was a 62 person modern event.
Wow.
Things were happening. So if you would like to check that out, you can check that out online. It was just really funny watching it open up, or I guess as it, I guess, was defined throughout the week.
You're gonna find out that it never actually happened, and there's just like 300 people in on a really
gaslighting
good joke.
Everyone on Twitter.
Yeah. That would be really funny.
Pictures from like Magic Fest Detroit 4 years ago or something like that.
Well, then we'd know. I remember everything there.
I might be in the pictures.
Yes.
Ooh.
But you're not in the escape the room.
I'm not in the promo video. I was only famous one time, and it was when Shadows over Innistrad was released. I'm in the video. If you go look on Magic's website and you look for that video.
I did see it.
I had to sign a release. Brian and I were both there.
Fun.
True story. That was a true story.
That's right.
Not my friend Hope.
Because you don't have a friend Hope or Dawn.
I have no hope.
And I didn't do stand up in front of a room full of zombies.
I almost believed it for a second. I did. So a couple of updates for Patreon. We did mail out the tokens to everybody that was not getting the actual Guardian Project proxies. Or for those of you that might be listening that are local to us, we are going to be hand delivering those ones.
Yes.
That's fine.
Saves us $1. Lets us say hi. Lets us say hi to you and maybe shake your hand if you're into that.
We see most of you on Sundays, so we can hand those out. And we also know that the United States Postal Service, USPS, has some significant delays. So if you don't get your package in like a month, can you just message us? We're happy to just send replacements.
Yep.
We're not sending these with tracking or anything. It's and we don't know how, for any of you that are international, literally, I hope it makes it.
Yes.
That's what most content creators are also saying. And it's
yes. And if you are international and the tokens never arrive, you're just going to have to come to a GP in Detroit.
You have to come to Southeast Michigan or we'll just send you them again.
Like we'll try. We'll do our best.
We'll do our best.
Yeah.
So if you would like to support us on Patreon, you can head to patreon.com/The Guardian Project Pod.
And if you're looking for another way to support the podcast, whatever platform you are enjoying the podcast on, if you could rate, subscribe, and review, leave a comment. And yeah, it helps out the show a lot. So please do so.
So much. Coyle, what are we talking about this week?
This week, we went on the Twitters and the Discords. And did we ask on Instagram?
No.
Okay. Well, we went on the Twitter and the Discord, and we asked all of you, the listeners, for questions. We haven't done a mailbag. It's our mailbag episode. We haven't done a mailbag episode in over a year.
It's been, I think it was 46 weeks.
Yeah.
So we're like almost at a year.
Okay.
It felt like we did one just not long. To be fair, it felt the last time was episode 69. To be fair,
it was pre-pandemic.
I don't think it was.
No, you don't think so?
44 weeks ago was during the pandemic. We were solidly in the pandemic.
In the pandemic, 44. Yeah. Okay.
Solidly.
Yeah. A few months in. Huh?
So we're doing mailbag questions. So let's answer those burning questions.
I didn't want to interrupt you when you said burning questions, but burning inquiries. I mean, it was right there.
Shoot, man, missed opportunities. Also, I gotta say, every time this transition music comes on, man, I want to clap in the middle of that so hard.
It slaps.
It's like the intro to Friends. If you don't clap, are you actually watching the show?
Oh.
So if you clap at home, can you please tweet at us with clap on?
Clap on. Tweet clap on.
Tweet clap on.
And see if people who don't understand respond with clap off, thinking that we're doing some sort of clap on, clap off light joke.
Still funny.
I still think it's pretty funny.
Still pretty funny.
Yeah.
So we're answering all of your questions. We pulled them from Twitter, from Discord. So thank you everybody who sent in some questions for us to answer. So we'll start out with the first one here. At Oni MTG asks, if you could change the color identity of any legendary creature, what would it be and why? And what would you build, or how would you build that legendary with its new color identity?
So we've talked about this briefly, and maybe it was on the last mailbag episode.
And yeah, I guess also to say, my opinions have changed in the last year. So I probably will answer a question today that I may have answered last time. Mm-hmm. I do not remember every question. And it's because that's how I'm feeling right now.
I'll be honest. If this was asked of me a year ago, it would be the exact same answer that I have right now.
I know what it is.
I've always wanted to do. I want to add green to She-Ray. Adding green to She-Ray is ridiculously good. Being able to have all the 1-power creatures like Sakura Tribe Elder and the Caustic Caterpillar that you would play in Marin, but they come back every single turn rather than only once per round or something, I just think would be really cool. And I love She-Ray, and it would be a new hotness way for me to build She-Ray and get me excited about building She-Ray again. So yeah, definitely She-Ray at green. Andy, what would you do?
So I'm probably also adding green.
Okay, to what?
And I think it's the exact same answer as I would have answered this a year ago as well. Because Noyandar would now be banned.
Oh, yeah.
And so Noyandar can have land ramp finally.
Mm-hmm.
And I can play all of the cards that put counters on creatures, like Awakening of the Vitu-Ghazi, where you put 9 counters on a creature, and then it becomes a legendary elemental named Vitu-Ghazi. You know, so I think it would really change that build though, because it would still be a Spellslinger deck, but I'd probably take out a lot of the more bounce effects in there to put in a lot, or take out some of the control effects to put in all the land ramp. Yeah.
It would be cool just to have cards like Crop Rotation and stuff in there and just grab, your Ink Moth Nexus to kill someone with infect damage.
Sylvan Awakening makes all my lands into creatures.
Boom.
Ooh, that's what we call synergy.
It's a synergy. Just don't play it into an exile board wipe or something, because they can become indestructible with that still, right?
But an exile would, it's until your next turn.
Until your next turn.
You could get wrecked.
Merciless Evictioned.
Yeah, so I think that I would build it the same way I have it, just with different cards. Mm-hmm. It would just enhance the both of our answers, I guess.
Oh, for sure.
Enhance the strategy we're already playing because I get another color. Although I don't think I necessarily support doing that. It's fun to try out commanders by adding a color.
Yeah, I guess like new hotness, Delina, the mono red commander that I built. If I could add blue so that I could put some more dice rolling things into her, that would be kind of cool too. But they have a red blue dice rolling commander for that reason. I just don't want to play it because
Yeah.
I'm stubborn. So Andy, we have another question here from Egor86 who asks, "What's your favorite token that you've drawn?"
Yeah, so one time I was very proud of myself drawing a treasure on stream, and then I connected the wrong lines when I was trying to make a box live on stream, and it ended up being horribly embarrassing. And I was like, nailed it. And it looked more like Teferi's puzzle box. You were on that show. You remember that? And chat was roasting me.
Yeah.
I deserved it. I was like, and I draw these lines, and then I connect these. It was like drawing a cube. You know, when you draw a 3D cube, you know, I connected the wrong lines, and it wasn't a treasure chest at all. And it had like a round top because I was like, oh, I know exactly what I'm doing. I had no idea.
It kind of reminded me of those optical illusions you would see where you don't know, like the top of the wood becomes the bottom of it somehow when it moves around the shape. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, that was the best one that I think I've ever drawn. And I thought I nailed it. And narrator, he in fact did not nail it. He did not.
Well, I know that when I play my Illuna deck, I tend to make a lot of different tokens and I have to draw a lot of different stuff. And the most prominent one there is plant tokens. And I like doing a bunch of different plant tokens. And I got a lot of love for my power plant token one time.
Do you have a power plant?
So that was a good one. But I always do love just whenever I make a treasure token, just writing Twitch chat down on one of our draw erase tokens and just putting there just to suck up to Twitch chat a little bit whenever we're streaming. Like, oh yeah, you're a treasure to me. And by that I mean you're expendable and I'll sacrifice you for mana.
Oh, no.
No, I'm kidding.
All right.
It was always fun.
At Easy Mode Magic asks, given that Jin give you what you want, but cost something dearly, shouldn't Jin appear in black instead of blue? And my answer is that playing blue costs you friends. So I'm good with Jin staying in blue. There are some Jin that, like the one that was in standard in that mono blue deck that just got bigger for your blue mana islands.
And from Dominaria.
Yeah, that one, Tempest Jin?
That one is a legendary creature. Or no, I know what one you're talking about. The one
I can't remember. Yeah. But anyway, I don't think they have to be black. I think playing in blue and black, you're still being a little bit selfish.
Pretty schemy, pretty evilly.
You can be pretty schemy. What do you think?
I think that the whole color identity black with giving people advantages for big drawbacks is already pretty slotted to demons in this universe. So Jin not having contracts or anything official, they're a little bit less organized, I guess. And so they're a little bit more chaotic in a way. And you could say that chaotic is like the color identity black. I think it's closer to color identity red than anything. And so obviously they're still mystical beasts. So give them blue too. And as you said, blue people are evil too. So
we also have a follow-up question here. Do you have a favorite hot sauce?
No. I don't like hot food.
Okay, funny enough, I don't do spicy food, but I like Chipotle mayo.
Okay.
So it's a sauce that I put on a sandwich, but I don't want to blow my nose when I'm eating dinner at all. And like Chipotle mayo or like a Chipotle barbecue sauce is like the most I can do. And if I go to like, so is Buffalo Wild Wings national? It's national.
Probably. Yeah.
Is it national?
Yeah.
National.
It's national.
Like if I get like honey barbecue there, it's third up on their their spice list. They're spicy.
They're a little spicy. They got a little kick to them.
And now is the time when everybody who likes spice turns off the episode.
Yeah, because they're like, that's not spicy.
They're not spicy at all. No, I don't do spice. We do have hot sauces. My in-laws love really spicy food. I don't do buffalo because it tastes... It's not even a spice. It just feels hot.
It's okay.
My body gets hot.
That's true.
I don't want to be hot.
I do like a nice, like a green chili or a salsa verde on a taco or something that has a little bit of a kick to it because of the peppers that are in it. But
yeah,
nothing overwhelming. It has to have a good flavor. It's all about flavor. If it has good flavor, we can do it.
Sure.
Okay. Next question we have here is from at Lo-Fi Lowbrow, and they ask, what is your feeling on proxies, and do we have a limit on how many we will use in a deck? Something that I think is very interesting as we're transitioning back into in-store play. Because I do think that proxies are very, very nice in casual play, extremely wonderful over webcam, especially in the support of whether or not you are in support of the CEDH format. It's super, super nice for people who don't want to spend the money on the CEDH format, but they still want to play the game.
Or you just want to try out a deck that you don't want to commit to the money on it, and you know it's got a lot of expensive cards in it that aren't necessarily what I'm using this loosely with air quotes staples because I really don't like that term.
Sure.
And it's like, I don't know if I want to spend $700 to build this deck because I only own 13 of the cards.
Right. Exactly. But you do have to be careful, though, when you are playing in an LGS that they are allowing proxies, because there is a mindset, whether you believe it or not, that playing with proxies in a store is taking away sales from the store of those cards that you're playing with. It is an arguable mindset because you're there playing, meaning you're paying to play, but at the same time, you could be paying to play and also buying those cards from the store. So just please be mindful of your LGS. We want to support our LGSs. It's where we go to play games with each other when we're not playing online.
I don't care. You play your proxies.
Personal
and
feeling,
as many as you
want.
want, cool.
Mhm.
The one thing that I don't like, and we certainly experienced this pre-pandemic, was if someone wanted to build a new deck in let's say it was 5 colors, they put 5 fetches, they proxied 5 duels, they proxied 10 duels, they proxied. I mean, the whole deck ended up just having a ridiculous mana base to support a ridiculous deck, and it was making the power level increase drastically. And that was an experience that I think a lot of places are going to have to deal with.
Sure.
And it's fine. I think power level's increasing naturally right now anyway. And the more people tune their decks, the more it's happening. I realize I've been tuning down. I've lost my last 16 games in a row.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations to me. And it's been a blast, but that was the whole point, was I did not want to be winning every game.
Right.
And but I do think something to keep in mind is it does really boost the power levels when people start just proxying everything, because we're like, well, if I'm just going to write out a card, I might as well write the best one.
Sure.
And that's not my favorite thing to do. I love to see it. I mean, I'm happy. We talk to people in Discord all the time, and they're like, "Oh, I'm working on this. Oh, there's someone building an Obeka deck currently."
Yeah.
And I was like, as soon as this is together, let me know, because I'd love to play against it. That doesn't have anything to do with the proxies, but when I can play against new decks because people proxied, I love that.
Right, because it's always nice to play against the new flavors.
Play them away. All right, Lenny Woolley at a Johnny's Gay Pride Mate asks, what is your MTG drag name?
Okay, so I came up with one. I don't know how good it is because I've never done this before. It's my first time coming up with a drag name.
Okay.
I went with my inner mono red dinosaur, and I am Eat Me Primal Star, or Itali Primal Storm.
Oh, okay. Welcome to the stage.
Eat Me Primal Star.
I just went with Old Gnawbone.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I think I enjoyed it. That's my name on Twitter. I mean, it's at ATFlurry, but it's not at Old Gnawbone. I bet you that's open though. It might not be, actually. I wonder how popular the card is. I'm gonna go with Old Gnawbone. Welcome to the stage, Old Gnawbone.
I mean, Nikki B is not a bad name either, though. Welcome to the stage, Nikki B.
There's a lot of drag names are difficult, right? So there's a lot of very clever. I mean, there's a drag queen, Karen from Finance.
Ah, nice.
It's very, some of them are just very funny. So I think that's what I'm going to go with.
Okay.
I did not expect to see that question. It was a good one. At Taz TV asks, who is your favorite goblin in all of MTG lore, and why is it Slow Bad?
Yeah, I can't say that I knew who Slowbad was before.
I don't
10
know
minutes
any
before
lore.
recording.
I don't know any lore about Slowbad. The only I don't know a ton of Magic lore, to be perfectly honest. But if I were to pick a favorite goblin to play with, it would probably be Krenko Tin Street Kingpin, because I played in my cube, and it's really fun when it kind of goes crazy with a bunch of goblins.
Sure.
Lore wise, I know he runs the Tin Street, and he's a mob boss.
That's right. Well,
because of his original card, Krenko Mob Boss.
That's right. He does run a Tin Street mob. Yeah, and he is the boss. I much prefer, maybe not much prefer. I prefer one of our a character that we knew existed, but we just got a card for him actually in Commander Legends. Our 8-digit friend Krark the Thumbless,
Ooh.
who also has some very good lore. He started the whole Krark clan, or at least the Krark clan was started from his books that he wrote and everything. But also from Ravnica, I do like Mizzix of the Ismagus, a goblin that moved up the ranks a lot in the Izzet Guild, which was pretty cool. And she's very smart, so very, very cool there. But I'm not really big on the goblin lore, unfortunately. I'm not randomly discarding 4 cards after drawing 3. Is that what goblin lore does? Something like that.
Yeah, random discard's tough.
Random discard, hollow 1, break it out.
Oh.
Okay, so next question we have on here from @JoshuaTingley. They ask, what is your favorite commander designed before Wizards of the Coast started designing products for the format?
Okay, so the first commander product, I believe, was 2011, right?
Okay.
Commander product 2011, I believe, right? We weren't playing then.
Nope.
So I started in I started during Gatecrash, which I believe was 2013, right? So that's 2 years after that had started. So I took a look at the decks that I have, right? Because I'm not sure there's a specific commander that I would have built just because it's old. But the oldest commander that I have is Lysolda the Blood Witch.
Okay.
So I play a Rakdos deck. Lysolda is a human cleric, and she's from Dissension. So that's the second set, I believe. Second? It might be third. From the original Ravnica City of Guild block.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a sacrifice deck. So she says pay 2, sack a creature. She deals 2 damage to target creature if that creature was red that you sacrificed. And then if it was black, you draw a card. So it's an infinite mana deck that uses Lysolda to cast herself and then sacrifice herself, and then you draw a card each time, and then you shock somebody or you deal 2 damage to face. So that's what I built. Although there's a lot of just world enchantments and stuff that are really cool that I like seeing when they come down.
Yeah, for sure. One of the original decks that I built from scratch way back in the day was Lord of Tressorhorn from Alliances. So I kind of got lucky into this one because other than this, and I know people are probably sick of me talking about She-Ray, but She-Ray was probably my only other commander that did. So Lord of Tressorhorn is a 4-mana zombie in Grixis color. So for 1, a blue, black, and a red, you get a 10/4 legendary creature zombie. But when Lord of Tressorhorn enters the battlefield, you lose 2 life, sacrifice 2 creatures, and an opponent draws 2 cards, and you can pay black to regenerate Lord of Tressorhorn. This deck was just all about Voltron. It was just a Grixis Voltron Zombies deck. It was really fun to play with, and then smack somebody with like a Temur Battle Rage after giving Tressorhorn +1/+1 from a zombie lord or something. But it was kind of boring at the time, but by building it, I built up a zombie shell, which I still use today, and a Grixis mana base that I still use today. So thanks, Lord of Tressorhorn from Alliances. The next question we have on here is from @Hurtrax04, and they ask, if you could create any commander/card, what would it be?
So this question, I've thought about building a custom Planeswalker for myself. You know, there's other shows that do that. And so I have thought about this for a long time. And I feel like if I created one, I'd want it to be, funny enough, a 3-color card.
Okay.
Because I'd want options.
Mm-hmm.
I would like it to see play if this was real,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I would like it to be focused on giving spells buyback.
Oh.
So it can be a commander that says spells you control have buyback. I'm not sure if it's like if this is in the variety like Fate Reforged, where it's like it's a 3-color commander, but it only costs 2 of the colors to cast, but then 2 of the other colors to use an ability like Alesha.
Okay, sure.
Thinking in that same vein, just
Mm-hmm.
I like that style of commander like that, or the Shu Yu and Silent Tempest, the split, the hybrid mana there.
Mm-hmm.
Giving spells buyback because I like being able to reuse spells.
Right.
But then having a significant enough drawback that if you are using buyback every turn, and let's say you have like a reliquary tower, so you have no max hand size, I'd probably get out of hand. It has some like downside that's like you lose 1 life for every card in your hand over like 2.
Oh,
So
okay.
your upkeep, it's like if you used all of them, you drew 30 cards at your upkeep, you're going to lose a ton of life.
Gotcha.
So you need to deal with the drawback to kind of negate being oppressive
Right.
with said commander.
Right.
That's as far as I've gotten. I like buyback. I also like the idea of using split second. I just think that it wouldn't make for a fun experience. So
Sure.
that's the reason I wouldn't put split second. I thought about making a custom planeswalker too, like in the vein of like a Teferi, you know,
Mhm.
the planeswalkers with just static abilities of saying like your spells have split second.
Gotcha. That would be really strong.
It would, but then it'd be like it would also have to have some sort of like it would start at 1 or something. Like
Okay.
like you can remove it like almost immediately, but
Mhm.
it gives you a chance to make it so that your spells are maybe just saying your spells are uncounterable. I think split
Ooh,
second
Okay.
is still fun though.
Yeah, I know you
No.
do. I know you
So
do.
I'm not sure. I think it's going to be a hybrid of 3-color variety, giving buyback with some sort of a negative. It needs to be a steep penalty though
Sure.
for giving buyback to every spell.
To every spell. Well, maybe you can only give it to instants and sorceries or something.
No.
Then.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's all I would want. I wouldn't.
I guess
have
that
like
doesn't work for permanents.
I wouldn't- Yeah,
Because they have to stay on the battlefield for buyback.
Echo was kind of like a buyback cost,
In a
right?
way.
For a creature, right? You had to pay. Well, not
The next
buyback.
turn
You had to pay the next turn
to keep
again
it
to
out.
keep it.
Yeah.
I get.
Otherwise, it dies though.
It's like bad
yeah.
for what I. Yeah. So instant sorceries you control have buyback.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna stick with that right now because it just seems real fun. Probably in like Jeskai colors.
Of course. It's
You
gotta
know,
be.
You know. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe green.
That way you can shove an Angel's Grace under a Nicer Scepter and never lose to the 50 damage you do to yourself every
All right,
turn.
well, we just broke it. Folks. Sorry. You don't even need to put it on Isochron Scepter. It has buyback.
That's right. You got buyback on an Angel's
We don't
Grace.
run
You never
Isochron
lose.
Scepter here.
You don't have to.
It's too expensive. I gotta keep the deck budget.
We're just going to run that $12 Angel's Grace. Well, $12 isn't that bad.
That's my
though.
main budget.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't have as exciting or of elaborate of an answer. I just want a Rakdos legendary creature that has some sort of significant card draw ability on it.
Okay.
So like a Rakdos commander that says whenever you deal damage with a creature that has death touch, you get to draw a card or something. I don't know. Just something where it's like this commander can potentially draw you 5 cards by swinging with your board. A Rakdos commander that has significant card draw.
Whenever a creature you control attacks, lose a life and draw a card.
Sure, I'm down with that. But that might be even more of an advantage.
Lose 2 life and draw a card.
I like losing life could be an advantage though.
Lose lightning bolt and draw a card for each creature you control that swings. Huh?
Does the creature do the damage? Then I can give my creature lifelink. And
You
then it all
lose
just-
3 life for each creature you control that swings, and then draw 1 card.
Yeah, and I guess
It would again need just a significant drawback. I mean,
maybe you can make the
Maybe.
commander cost 8 or something. Make it like the original Kazarick.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
just make it very expensive. But then as soon as you cast it for 8, hopefully you've already built up a board state and you get to like do 1 swing and draw. And then people are like, that's a problem. And then you'll never be able to cast for the rest of the game.
Give it a merge. Remember, you can give it a merge, which is I believe. So that's from not Shadows, the next one, the with the Eldrazi, the second one.
Yep,
And
this is
it's
Eldritch Moon.
Eldritch Moon
Yep.
had a merge, right? So you could sack a creature to reduce the cost by something
By the casting cost of that creature.
of
you
that creature. So you
sacrificed.
could, I mean, that'd be kind of cool.
Mhm.
Putting a merge on a commander that would do something like that.
That would be really cool, actually.
Put Delve on it, make it even more broken.
Delve on a Rakdos creature? Deal. Absolutely. We'll just break Dimir. We don't need it anymore. All
No.
Rakdos.
Oh yeah. What would it?
Well, it doesn't break it, but I'm just saying, like, take
I
the
mean, I'm
Dimir
happy for
mechanic
you.
and throw it at Rakdos.
I'm happy for. Well,
Was it-
Delve is just blue.
Oh,
I mean,
it
it's-
wasn't. I thought it was Dimir. Is it not?
That's originally from Time Spiral.
Oh,
and then
okay.
it came back in Khans of Tarkir.
Okay.
I don't think it was assigned to a specific color pair. I just know it's in blue. I don't know how many other colors have Delve. I'll be
Oh,
honest.
you're right.
Delve is in black. I mean, there's Gurmag
It's in
Angler.
Tassiger is Delve, right?
There's a
It's
Tassiger.
Sultai.
Yeah, it's Sultai.
Okay.
But I guess, or what if it was reduce the cost of this spell by exiling every card for your graveyard?
I don't want to exile my cards from my graveyard when I'm playing Rakdos. No
Yep.
way.
No, that's what I'm saying. Though. You make it a lot cheaper by exiling your whole
I
graveyard.
no longer want to play this creature. This creature has gone to the bin at this point. I don't want to design it anymore.
All right. At Concealed in Dark asks, what is your favorite artist and some of your favorite examples? I feel like we may, in fact, have the same favorite artist. I'm not sure, but mine's Seb McKinnon, 100%.
I mean, I wrote down a list, and I didn't want to be. I'm
a Seb stan.
I'm very basic when it comes. I'm the lover of the popular artists. I like Rebecca Gay when it comes to creatures.
So
I like
good.
Mark Poole when it comes to landscapes, and I like Seb McKinnon for his flavor. I love the flavor that Seb brings.
So if I had
his
to
art.
pick a card, it's actually a card I don't even play.
Okay.
I don't even play it. I love from Strixhaven Harness Infinity.
Oh yeah.
The black-green card that says exchange your hand in your graveyard. It's just like there's someone standing on like a rock, and there's like a portal with these like weird dark swirly clouds, and it's just so good. The fall flavor. There's also a lot of stuff. Seb did a couple of cards for Ravnica Allegiance, like the creepy Orzhov stuff, and I like that. Debt to the Deathless. I just like that card a lot.
For sure.
But it's a Seb McKinnon card.
I like Soul Herder from Original Modern Horizons and Silent Clearing from Original Modern Horizons are both Seb McKinnon art as well.
Oh, the mythos, all the mythos of Nethroi, Snapdax. Oh, those are.
And then Brand New Damnation is pretty creepy cool. I'm not gonna lie, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and I think the first time we saw Seb McKinnon's art, first time I saw Seb McKinnon's art was Aminatu, right? Aminatu was Seb's. At least
Aminatu
for me.
is the Fate Shifter is a Seb McKinnon art.
That was my first time seeing his art, and then it was cool to see it develop and become so much more prominent in Throne of Eldraine and beyond. So
I only took one art class in school, in college. I don't know. I'm not good at like appreciating art or like understanding and explaining it.
Sure.
It's hard to explain. I just know when I like something,
For sure.
And it's just like, there's a lot of light and dark, and a lot of, it's just crazy. Artists are they're so talented.
Let's.
I wish I could draw a person. I wish I could draw a self-portrait. I draw stick figures. I'm so bad at drawing.
But they know what you're drawing when it comes to stick figures. So an engineer would say your drawing is accurate. You're fine.
Yeah.
All right. So the next question we have on here, this is from @Metallics87. They ask, what is one token you've never made that you've been itching to create in a game? I have an Aluna deck I've mentioned before that creates lots of different kinds of tokens and stuff. And so this might be kind of cheating because I've created this token before, but let me explain. There is a card called Carrion Call that I really like in this deck, and it's kind of actually a secret win condition in Aluna. And Carrion Call is an instant speed green spell that creates 2 1/1 green insect creature tokens with Infect. And I want to put Aluna on top of one of these Infect insects and kill someone with Infect damage in my Aluna deck. So that's the quote unquote token. I want to mutate my commander on top of a token.
Yeah.
So that I can kill someone with Infect.
So mine's more basic. It's a card that, I mean, you've heard of it. People love it. I've never done it. And I really just want to be able to say I too am in the club and have done it. But I've never played Dark Depths and made a Merit Lage token. I've never. Have you made one?
No, I stole them. I always steal.
So you let them do the work and then you reap the benefits.
Yeah, I put down the giant nickel bolas that I cheated from my graveyard into play with my other nickel bolas, and I steal the indestructible 2020 flyer. Yes.
Yeah. So Dark Depths is a land. It enters with 10 ice counters. You can pay 3 to remove an ice counter. When you remove the last one, you make a 2020 black avatar with flying and indestructible.
Mm-hmm.
I've never done it.
Okay, well, we can make that happen. There's more than one way to make it now.
This used to be in one of my Lands Matters decks just because I have a Dark Depths, and I think I actually have one from the vault. I think it was from the vault, and it was, I forget what the actual from the vault one it's from. Like lands. It wasn't called Lands. It was like Worlds Explored. It wasn't that either. Sure. But I have the fancy one. I just have never done it.
Just rebuild Orvar, put all the snow lands in there, and then do the Merit Legs Slumber. And then maybe you'll be able to do it there, but that's without using it.
Is it Hex Drinker? Hex something.
Hex Drinker can remove all
removes all the
from
counters.
A permanent.
So that's the card the combo usually see. I don't have the two of them in a deck together. I don't think I have Dark Depths in a deck currently, but that's what I would like to do in the future.
I don't even own one.
They're not crazy. I just it's one of those cards. Can't believe you don't own one.
We grew up in the standard generation where Ormondal was the cool guy that you could make.
Oh, that was true. You sacked 5 tokens.
That's
5?
Right. Yeah, five
tokens.
creatures.
Five creatures and flipped it.
Yeah.
Josh from our Discord asks, if life totals were abolished, what would be your preferred way to win the game?
When I was thinking of my answer for this, I realized that if life totals were abolished, this would probably be a really bad way to try to win the game, and that's mill my opponents out. Because if life totals were abolished, I bet a lot of my opponents are going to be playing Laboratory Maniac effects to try to win, and I might be helping them win.
Yeah, I like alternate win cons as well.
Mhm.
I think like an Approach of the Second Sun,
Okay.
but then it gains me 7 life, so I really just need to cast it twice.
Well, yeah.
It gains me 7 life, and then I have to wait to draw it again. So like Approach of the Second Sun is probably not the card I would want to win with, but it'd be an alt win con with if you control something, you win. It can't be with like if you have 40 more life, because life totals are abolished, so it actually just gets rid of some cards.
That's
like
true.
Felidar Sovereign.
That's very true.
And is it Test of Fate? I think it's Test of Fate.
Yes.
Yeah, those cards.
Test of Endurance.
Test of Endurance.
You're right.
They don't matter.
Yeah, no.
They don't matter
Because you don't have
anymore.
life total, so it doesn't.
Commander damage.
Commander
also.
damage, so you have to
Voltron,
swing.
which is I got destroyed a couple of days ago by a Jessica and an Ashai deck. So
Mhm.
it
Ooh, what about Infect? That's really easy. I think that's the easiest way to win. Well, other than maybe like a Thassa's combo if you're really doing something
Finn
like
the
that.
Fang Bear, get in. You don't care about your life, but you didn't care about the life before, and Finn gets targeted. So
Would Nekusar give it Infect wheel?
that would work.
Yeah.
That's a cool one.
Yeah.
That's a cool one.
So stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, it would be fun to. I bet you could put a pod together where it's like alternate win conditions only or something, and that could be a lot of fun to put together.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have our next question at the More Monitor asks, of all the planes, which do you think is most likely to have the best food? Best food.
So this one was tough because I participated in the Great Eldraine Bake Off.
Sure.
So if you followed us on Instagram or on Twitter forever ago, is forever ago.
It was a long
It was
time ago.
before episode 20.
Mhm.
It was still in the very, very beginning.
It was before. It was as
Coil
I
wasn't-
became full time.
Yeah, Coil wasn't on the show yet.
Full time.
So Coil's a full-time employee of the Guardian Project. We don't get paid here, folks. We made a pie. We made an apple pie for that, and it was really good. Like the pie was good, but also the art that we had made, the actual Throne of Eldraine set symbol. It was really good.
Yeah.
I was very proud of that. Seriously, it was so good. And their food tokens look so good. They have like savory pies
Yeah, they
in their
do.
tokens, and I'm a big fan of savory pie. And
Mhm.
like, so I'm French Canadian, and we at every holiday we have Canadian meat pie,
Okay.
which is really good, but it's like pork and veal and beef
Mhm.
with like clove and others. It's
Ooh.
really good, and people eat it with I like it plain,
Mhm.
really with ketchup. So I'd want like a
Sure.
savory pie. I feels like the cop out answer, but I want to go with Eldraine. Second, I drink too much coffee, and so do you.
Oh, Tim
And
Ravnica.
Ravnica has coffee.
That's
We've
we learned
confirmed this
that.
on the show. We learned because of this show. Ravnica has coffee shops.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'd planeswalk to Ravnica for after dinner coffee.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
In
that's
this-
what I do in this fantasy.
in this fantasy where you're a planeswalker and everything.
I am a
too.
planeswalker too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Wizards of the Coast tells us, right?
I am.
You are a planeswalker
We are.
as you play. I agree with you. I think Throne of Eldraine is kind of like the cop out answer, but at the same time, there's cards like Bacon to a Pie, and I don't know what I'm gonna be eating, so maybe I don't want Throne of Eldraine.
Can I have a pie, sir?
I went with
That's not the lyrics, but it's a very good musical, Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd. I watched that once. I didn't memorize any of the music though, but it was good.
That's okay.
movie.
It's a good musical.
It was a very good musical. I picked Kylum, which is the plane that Battle Bond takes place on.
Okay.
So I thought stadium food, maybe?
Oh, you can get like soft pretzels there.
Yeah, so hot dogs,
Hot
popcorn.
dogs.
Yeah. And you know, there's definitely tons of generous patrons there that are willing to buy some food for you.
They throw coins.
Yeah, yeah.
We should tweet at Mark Rosewater and ask if they would have stadium food.
We should. What kind of food?
Strixhaven Stadium as well.
Oh, true.
Strixhaven probably has good food
Strixhaven
too.
probably has some like Barney Bots, all flavored beans, bad food though too. That Harry Potter world going on over there in Strixhaven.
Butterbeer. I don't know. I never really got into all that, so I
Yeah.
don't know all the foods.
I just know the candy that people try to make me eat. This one tastes like grass. Try it. I'm like, tastes like grass. No, thank you.
No,
Well,
no, thank no.
Crazy. I know. All right.
All right. Dark A. Joe asks, if you could have any creature become legendary to become your commander, who would you pick and why? And I will tell you, I prepped for this question because I know the perfect answer for me. And it's funny because I'm going into a color I played the least of here.
Okay.
And I'm going mono white with Monastery Mentor.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So Monastery Mentor is a 2/2 human monk for 2 and a white. It has prowess. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you make a 1/1 white monk with prowess. I'm just going to play mono white spell slingers and kick you in with monks.
Yeah. And anointed procession and all that, double monks.
I love it. And this is the hidden commander in Noyan Dar.
Yes.
You've lost to that where I was like, I'm going to play 7 spells at the end of your turn. Now I have 8 monks if you include the Monastery Mentor, and I'm going to cast 3 on my turn, and they're all giant. Good luck.
It inspired my alternate win condition. Sorry, not alternate. My main win condition in Vega, which was Monastery Mentor.
Yeah, so good. So good. That's what I would pick.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if you could guess this. You probably could. But I would pick a 5 mana mono black creature, uncommon, from Theros.
Grey Merchant of Asphodel. Ooh.
I just think it's kind of cheating because Grey Merchant to me is like a better version of Kokusho, the Evening Star. So Grey Merchant, you get to drain your opponents equal to your devotion to black. And Kokusho, when it dies, you just get to drain each opponent for 5 and you gain the 15 that you drain. So I think Grey Merchant would be a better choice, but I also feel like that's cheating because it's like literally the same deck I have, but I just replaced the commander with an uncommon. So I also said Brash Taunter would be cool.
Ooh, that's a cool one.
Right. So I
very popular online.
I did make a Brash Taunter commander deck with my Cody, but Brash Taunter can get exiled, and it did. So nothing happened with it yet. So that would be cool. And then like a card like Bone Miser, I think would be cool. One that's like a really dedicated wheels commander that isn't just trying to hurt your opponents when you wheel, but also trying to help you while you wheel. Think would be cool to see. So Bone Miser.
Bone Miser. Nice.
So the next question that we have from Superwill at Superwill12345. They ask, of the 5 themes of Innistrad, the creature themes of Innistrad, we have blue-white spirits, blue-black zombies, black-red vampires, red-green werewolves, and green-white humans. Which is our favorite and why?
So funny enough, I had a vampire deck. I currently have a human deck. I never built a spirits deck or a zombies deck, and I've wanted to build werewolves, and I've talked about this. I love the idea. I like the flavor. I like double-faced cards. I'm going with werewolves for the flavor. They are a lot to track on whether or not someone casts 2 spells to force them to flip back. But I think we're coming up to Innistrad, again, Midnight Hunt, and Crimson Vow in a couple of months here, which is partially where this question came from.
For sure.
And I think I'm going to say werewolves because I like them, but humans is just a really fun tribe. There's so many ways you can build it. So I'm going to go with humans second. But I just really like all of them.
Yeah. I will say that I have my order in the opposite, but literally the same reasons. I would say number 1 is zombies because I like my zombies and my zombie deck, and it's going to have good stuff to help me upgrade my deck. But I think werewolves is the most interesting because it is something that hasn't been supported in the past in Commander. In Commander, it hasn't been fully supported. Right. It's great in Standard. I mean, it's fun in like in a draft environment, or I would imagine a Ravnica cube or Innistrad cube is like probably really fun. Oh yeah, playing cards like that. Oh yeah, it's got to be great. I know tons of people like Innistrad cube is like a thing, like a whole its own thing. It's Innistrad cubing. It's its own thing. Yeah, sure. It's its own thing. All right. Jason Belk asks, how many decks do you double sleeve, and what deck boxes do you like and why? So right now, I double sleeve all the decks that I am building that aren't pre-con. So if I'm playing a pre-con deck, I always sleeve it before I play it, but I'm probably just putting it in single sleeves because I'm not going to leave every pre-con I play together. I want to just be able to move my cards around. So I've mentioned before, I use mist sleeves and I double sleeve all my decks now. In that, it's expensive, which is a downside, and it takes a long time to double sleeve a deck. So I never want to undouble sleeve. And then as far as deck boxes go, I have the Ultra Pro Guild deck boxes for individual
some individual commander decks, and then otherwise I believe it's by Ultra Pro. It has a zipper and it has like 9 slots, and they're kind of adjustable, and that's what I use to keep my decks in. And then I don't take every deck with me, so I have a lot of them just in like a dresser at home, like a shelf.
Right.
Yeah.
I double sleeve everything. I have this note right here that everything that isn't just a precon, literally how you started your statement. Yeah. No. If we're just playing with precons, again, single sleeve. I'm going to take it apart later on. Maybe I'm going to upgrade it. Maybe I'm going to use it for parts. I know my art theme deck and my pauper deck are in single sleeves, but I couldn't think of any other example. Everything else is in double sleeves. I use Ultimate Guard archives to house my decks. They can hold 4 double sleeve decks at a time, and I have 3 of them, and I've never gone into a situation where I need more than 12 decks. And then I also have a special little deck box that one of my friends got me from Etsy. That kind of lights up that I put.
That's a cool deck box.
I usually put my CEDH deck in there, keep it separate.
It only like fits one, and it's very large, so
Yes.
it takes up a lot of space.
It does.
But there's like wires and stuff. I mean, I get it.
And there's a little dice compartment in there too and stuff. Yeah. So it's not it's perfectly fit for someone who just takes one deck to an LGS.
We'll take a picture of that, and then you can check it out on Instagram.
Absolutely.
So after the show, so just watch for it the next week. We'll get a photo of that.
Okay, so next question we have here is from @ZoonShark, and they ask, what are our favorite commander decks to play and show off in a game? I'm going to say that Commander Legends brought all the different partners and stuff, and I built like 3 or 4 different partner decks. I have my brand new Cody deck that I really want to play, and my brand new Morophon Humans deck that I really want to play, and I want to show all of them off, and it's really hard to play 6 decks in a night.
It is. I show off my Noyandar deck only because it's fully foiled. So there's only 2 cards in it that aren't. So I do have a Tundra, and then I have an Equinox.
Okay.
And I guess I think Coastal Breach. Technically, that's a card that was only printed in non-foil. So I think there's 3 cards. Everything else is foil. So it's always fun to just show off the shinies and,
of course,
all those printings. So
that's
the one.
I still only have 6 foils in my She-Ray deck, but that's the closest one to being foiled out.
All right. Boggart's Brew asks, do we think there's a way to create a system to add partner to previously released commanders? So what I'm going to say is I don't think there is, only because I would not want every other commander to have partner. I like partner. It's fine. It's a fun mechanic. I really think they crushed it with the way that they did it in Commander Legends, but I really don't want to add partner to every commander. And that's just my personal preference.
Yep.
If you want to rule 0 it, play a game with me. 100% I want to see your 2 commanders that have nothing to do with each other and see how you're going to crush me with the added colors.
Yeah. I don't think there is a drawback you can really do. I think added colors can turn some creatures really, really, really bonker strong. And for some other creatures, it does nothing. And you might need a whole new ban list, but definitely rule 0.
Rule 0.
Let's do it. All right. So next question we have is from @DuckGK. They ask, me specifically.
You specifically.
What is my favorite piece of graveyard hate? I don't know why someone would ever ask me specifically this question. But I will read verbatim this first line I did in my notes. Player removal is great graveyard hate. I'm just saying, if the person is no longer in the game, they no longer have a graveyard. But I do like...
What a bad answer. Boo.
I do like some targeted graveyard hate. Like I play a card called Heap Doll in my She-Ray deck that has the ability to sacrifice itself to exile a target card from a graveyard. So single target graveyard hate, I think, is fine. But if I'm being honest, I think Scavenger Grounds, which is the land from Hour of Devastation, that you could sacrifice a desert to exile all cards from... is it target player or all? Exile all cards from all graveyards. I think that one's probably the best one. If I'm rating graveyard hate decks, I think, or graveyard hate cards, I think this is the best one because it's a colorless land that can go in every deck.
Yeah, I agree. I was gonna say Scavenger Grounds.
Scavenger Grounds, really good.
Grounds. All right. Draco Lucian asks, what deck made you turn into a combo player, and what deck changes, and what decks changes made you build differently than how you first started playing? So I think it just feels synergistic. And in standard, when I was playing competitively a couple of years ago, I played the Bant Collected Company deck. So it would put creatures in at instant speed at the end of your opponent's turn, played cards like Reflector Mage to bounce things back to their opponent's hand. It was I don't know. It's a very tempo deck. It feels combo-y. You're like, I get to pick these options and it just works. And I think I started moving that I just feel like that had me move towards doing things that were combo centric.
Sure.
Yeah.
I would say that my deck building recently has gone away from combo centric building, although in very, very recent building, it's actually kind of going back to it. But I will say when I first built Nekusar the Mindraiser, that was probably the most combo-centric commander deck that I built. And at about the same time, the standard deck was God Pharaoh's Gift with the Glorybound Initiate.
Yeah.
Is that the one, the extra turns one? No, Combat Celebrant. Combat Celebrant, God Pharaoh's Gift was a combo that I was trying to play in standard at the time. So that is definitely why I would start going. So our next question from @Micah Eternities Crafter, they ask which of our commanders ranks highest on EDHREC. And I will say that of my current builds, Morophon is the highest at 25, but I am ashamed to say that I have had an Atraxa number 3, and I've had at least 2 different Kenrith decks at number 4.
So I'm glad we answered it the same way. So currently, of the builds of commanders I currently have together, I believe that my highest is Jodah Archmage Eternal at number 54.
Nice.
I've had a ton of these top commanders. They're just not together anymore. And I know we said it before, and it could just be that we like playing things that feel, I'm using air quotes currently, feel hipster.
Yes.
No one plays Jodah anymore. No one, once enough time passes, I will go back to it. I will rebuild. We will rebuild.
We have the technology.
All right. One more question. We have a ton of questions. We're definitely not going to get through all of them. So if we didn't ask your question, thank you so much for submitting it. We are saving all these. We certainly have everything that's in the Discord, everything that's on Twitter. So the last question here, this came from @PrincessLilyMTG. What universes beyond crossover would you like to see most?
Yeah, I didn't know I wanted to see the 40K crossover that we're going to get next year, Warhammer 40K, if you're not familiar, until they announced it. Then I was really happy about that. And the Lord of the Rings crossover that we're getting, and I'm really happy about that. So I was like at a loss, because before I didn't know I wanted it until they released it. So maybe Star Wars, but I think they have their own trading card game already.
I thought you might have said The Simpsons.
Ooh, that would be kind of cool.
I don't know.
I have trouble visualizing it, though.
I do too. So I don't watch a ton of things that I feel would be easy to cross over, but I also would not have expected the Walking Dead, to be fair.
That's fair.
So I'm gonna go with something like Schitt's Creek.
Okay.
Would be crazy to have the family made into MTG cards.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you would have.
There
could be artifacts like the family car. There's things there. The actual hotel or
the apothecary.
The apothecary. You can use it as a resource, tap it to do. I don't know. There's something there. I feel like I would want a Schitt's Creek crossover.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Cool.
I feel like I very much like playing Pokemon. I feel like it would never happen. They've got their own, and it's it's just too big on its own.
Although it would be pretty cool to have an Ash Ketchum Planeswalker that when you plus it, you randomly get either a green creature, a blue creature, or a red creature that has certain stats.
But not yellow.
Well, I mean, you got to stop it at some point, right? it's just any. It's a red creature with either this stats, this stats,
if we
this
have
stats,
hamsters,
this stats.
it could just be Minx, but it could just be Ash, right?
That's true.
Anyway, that's what I think. Great question. Thank you everybody for sending these in. We want to thank you all for listening. If you want to contact us, you can find me on Twitter @ATFlory.
And you can find me on Twitter @WormCoilEngine. And of course, as we do every week, we want to give a special thanks to Ryan Nichols, our producer and editor. Thank you so much. And Chris Wolf, who handles all of our graphic design. Thank you so much. And to all you listeners out there, thanks again for your questions. And we will chat with you all next week.
See ya.
Bye-bye.